Hi guys, Jason from JVA Carpi Adventures, and this box here represents the start of a brand new series coming to JVA Carpi Adventures, guys. And I don't know if I'm going to let you know just yet. I'm going to start opening the box. I think you'll soon figure out what this new project of mine is going to be. So, get this open. You're probably going to be able to see quite soon, actually, guys. Bit of packaging. God, I hate this styrene foam stuff. Well, at least it's been kept safe. So, got to take out the first part, guys. Oh, it's quite weighty, actually. And I'm sure you can probably tell that is a motored and geared wheelbarrow wheel, guys. So my brand new series coming to JVA Carpi Adventures is going to be barrow conversion. So I'm going to be turning this wheel, and I'll show you what other things come in here because I know there's not more than just the wheel. I'm going to have, that's going to be the controller. With that, I can see there is a throttle and a key, and then with that there are some brakes, and they're electronic brakes. So I might open it up a little bit better, guys, show you a little bit better than what we've got here, but this is going to be the start of a whole new project for me, guys. Really looking forward to it. I'll be honest, I've decided to do this for a couple of reasons. One, Linear did me in with how muddy it was. Fault Please done me in, so I decided I really need a power barrow. I'm over 50, let's get a power barrow. But obviously they're quite expensive, and UK barrow conversions have been unreliable for people. There's loads of mails going back and forth and posts on social media and all this, so I thought, well, let's see if I can make my own. Now, this is a kit from AliExpress. It is the cheaper kit that they do. I'm going to put a link below, but let's show you it here. Hi guys, so welcome to my very first episode of Build Your Own Power Barrow. So, as you may have seen, I've literally just got the power barrow box from AliExpress, and it was within the time frame, so well done AliExpress. You've got a delivery time guarantee and you kept to it, so thank you for that, really cool. So, I've shown you a picture of the actual kit I've got. Before I go forward, I just want to show you another picture of the other popular kit on AliExpress that you can also get. It's a bit more expensive, comes with a few more options like speed, options, reverse and that sort of thing. But I've gone for the slightly cheaper one. So I'm going to show you these actually both side by side just so you can get an idea and decide which one you want to go for. I went for this one because I'm not certain I need the free speed or the reverse. And obviously it was cheaper, and I'd like to do this as cheap as possible. So on that front, I'm also going to be tackling this build from your average Joe perspective, meaning I want to be able to show you what I do in a hope that if you decide you want to take on a power barrow conversion, you can do exactly the same, guys. There's not going to be anything complicated here. There's only one thing I can think straight off that might be different when I do it compared to how you do it, and that's probably the bracketry. I probably am going to weld it on. I've used welders before. I've done a load of welding on my first fishmobile and stuff like that, so I'd rather weld things together than bolt them together. But other than that, I'm pretty much going to do it as bog standard as you might do it if you were tackling this for the very first time. So something I need to let you know before I even went and ordered my kit, the first thing I did is join the Power Barrow Conversions Facebook page. I'm going to do like a little, show you what it is here because I can't remember the exact title, it's got a long title. But first thing I did was go over to this web page and start reading through all the posts to see what people have done, the problems they may have encountered, and the tips they give you. There's quite a lot of really good tips. In fact, I would say signing up to this Facebook page was probably the deciding factor in me deciding, yep, I definitely can do this and I want to do this. So First thing, if you're thinking about building a power barrow, I would first sign up to this Facebook page. I'll show you what it is here, and have a good look at them. Up to now you've seen a few little things. I need to obviously get the stuff out properly and have a look at it myself. So let's do that on camera for you now. I'll take out the smaller parts one at a time, to be fair. So first off, they've supplied 2 brakes. Hopefully you can see them. So obviously they're going to need to be attached to a bar somewhere. And these are obviously electronic brake guys, so they're not the sort of brake you get on a bicycle where you get a cable, you've got a wire. So that'd be good for me, an electronic brake. The next thing, which I've got to be honest guys, I do quite like. I might zoom in just a little bit here guys. Just want to show you this a little bit better. So it's actually a throttle control with a key and a display of the voltage there. Again, there's a few wires that go on here, so that's also good. Now also you're getting all these wires guys, you're going to need something for them to plug into. Sorry, let's just zoom that back out. You're going to need something for them all to plug into, and we have got this small little controller. So let's take that out. Straight from the off, I can say there are a few additional wires that are put in here. I'm sure they're probably needed, so I will show you what they are. We've got a controller. Wow, okay. That is a very small controller guys. Jesus, practically nothing of it. Let's show you that a bit close up so you can see it. So obviously there are shed loads of wires on that guys, look at that. So we're going to put that back down here for now. Yeah, there's a lot of wires on that. And there is an instruction guide. So what I will do guys is I will scan each of these pages and put them up on the screen for you now. Alright guys, so now you've seen the instructions. If you need to save them or you want to have a look at them, just pause it. Now obviously the main part of the whole thing is the wheel, so let's get that up. Now firstly, they do send it to you uninflated guys. You wouldn't want an inflated wheel probably in the cargo hold or whatever of an aeroplane, so it isn't inflated, and that's worth you knowing. It actually stands up by itself, which is pretty cool. So I haven't even obviously taken this out yet, so let's do that. Sure, I bought myself out a pair of scissors here somewhere. So let's just chop these off guys. Obviously being careful not to damage the wheel, although I'll be honest, it's quite a chunky wheel guys. Let's just flip that over, do the same from the other side. Quite an impressive wheel actually. Alright, get them over there. There's going to be an opening here somewhere, isn't there? Here we go. Could have just ripped it all out, couldn't I guys, really? You know, been all macho, but I just try and be careful of stuff when there's electronics involved. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool, I've got to be honest. Oh, look guys, I'm going to zoom in a bit for you now, just so you can have a look at the wheel a little bit better. So, you've got the side with the inflator cap. Oh, I hate polystyrene, gets everywhere. And then you've got the side with the wiring. So obviously there's quite a few plugs here. Obviously at the minute I don't know what any of them do whatsoever guys, so I'm no good to you whatsoever until I find out what they are. But I've got the instructions, I'm going to have a good look, And the first thing I will say, there is loads and loads of advice on that Barrow Conversions forum, guys. So that really is the place to get most of your information. I'm going to let you know everything I find along the way, but as a bit of research before you decide to go ahead, I would definitely recommend on having a look on that Facebook page, reading a few posts and getting the ideas you need. So, I mean, this is really cool. The other thing worth noting, the spindle itself, guys, has got flat spots on it, so that would help it, providing your fork recess has flat spots rather than round. This would sit in that perfectly and hold it in that position, and that's going to be an important factor, guys. Obviously you can tighten up the nuts and all that to do the same thing, but if you've got a proper slot that fits it, it's going to be much better. Got to be honest, that's quite impressed with that, guys. Just to let you know, it does say I went for, let me just put this out a little bit, sorry guys. Alright guys, just to let you know, there's a number of kits available, and I actually went for the 24 volt 350 watt version. You may have seen that in the slides previous, but just in case you haven't, that's the version I've gone for. This is the Power Barrow wheel. I've got to be honest, it's quite nice. And just to let you know, it does on the side of the wheel let you know that your PSI inflation pressure or operating pressure should be 4 to 10 PSI. Although there is another note on there saying 24 PSI max to seat the beads, which is basically to seat this on the edge, but it feels like it's already seated correctly, if I'm honest guys. So I would probably only be inflating this to 10 PSI maximum. I don't know if you've watched my post recently, but I went to fill up the air on my normal barrow, so it's not Power Barrow yet, on my normal barrow a couple of weeks ago at Mouseau, and actually blew the tyre up. I didn't blow it up as I was pumping it up. I sort of blew it up to about 30 PSI I think, travelled about 15-20 metres and then it just went bang. So yeah, but that's another story guys. Alright guys, so I've taken the components out for the very first time, not seen anything, haven't read this instruction book yet, so I suspect the next best thing for me is to have a look through this, have a look at the wires I've got, see if I can marry them up. And I would really think I need to kind of do a bit of a mock wire up, don't I really, just to make sure that everything works before I start doing anything else. I think that sounds like a good idea. I can't believe the size of this controller guys, it's tiny. I mean, if you think that's my hand, you know, it's literally the width of my palm, if you can see that. So that controller is really small guys. Wow. So good thing about that is it's not going to be difficult locating it somewhere, is it really? So depending on what size battery you get, you're not really going to need that much room. It certainly doesn't weigh anything. Alright guys, oh, I can't see with these on. They're alright for close up, terrible for not. Alright guys, so first thing I did to let you know is read through these instructions. I know they'd be upside down for you, but it doesn't matter, you're not going to try and read them from this. So first thing I did was 3 pages of instructions and 1 page of the wiring description, which isn't too bad. Now the first thing I will say, there's a couple of things straight from the off and you might find that the wires don't match up. So there is one that I took off here, so let's just undo this for now, just so I can show you guys. Let's take that off. Probably going to just grab the camera around guys, just so I can show you this a bit better. Get that out of the way. Zoom down a bit more I think. Going to unplug a couple guys, sorry. I have sort of mock connected a few of them up. I'm just going to unplug them for you for a sec. Alright guys, just to let you know, obviously you've got a big bunch of wires here and it's all a little bit complicated when you look at it, but the instructions are step by step, so they're quite easy to be fair. But the first one I just want to bring your attention to is this one. It's got a loop on it, as you can see. Now, on the actual paper that they have around them, which they're quite well labelled up, it says electric door lock, and it's got a plug in it with a loop. So this you're actually going to take off, and they actually give you a spare wire in there in the pack, which has a red and orange on that, and you're simply going to connect this plug on. Sorry guys, my eyes are terrible this way around. And that's it guys. So now you've got a male and female on this side, and they will marry up with the male and female that is on your switch. So just marry up the male and female, so that one's going to go on that one, that one's going to go in that one. So technically it's going to be the red go into the yellow and the orange go into the blue. Just wanted to show you that guys quickly. I have seen that on the forum, and that's how I know what to do. So again, the main part you want to go is at the Barrow Conversions forum on Facebook. All this information is there, but I'm going to try and relay most of it, if not all of it, to you whilst doing these vlogs guys, to make this a simple step-by-step process where anyone can do it. Alright guys, so I've read through the instructions, I've put some of the wires together to check what goes what. I've shown you about that one plug that needs to be changed over. There's one other thing, reading the instructions, that once you've all got it together, you kind of need to check the wheel is going in the right direction and that sort of thing. So I decided I needed to make a sort of mock platform to hold the wheel, because you want to be able to test this bad boy, don't you? So I'll tell you what I've come up with guys. I need to suspend this wheel somehow so that I'll be able to do some testing on it, and I happen to have these old headrest supports, so for your bed headrest, and I thought, you know what, that would do me perfectly. So if I just show you, we're going to put that on there. That will hold it. Sorry if it's not all in focus, but that will hold it. I'll do one on either side. I'm going to trim these down, because obviously as you can see it's quite high. I'll trim these down so it goes all the way down to the bottom, and then make myself a little bracket to hold the wheel. So let's crack on and do that. Alright guys, so like I said, first bit is I want to make a little bit of a stand to hold that wheel while I get it all set up and make sure all the wiring's working, etc. So I found these, which I actually had just in my shed, which are the bottom of an old bed rest or headboard, sorry, bottom of an old headboard. So I'm just going to chop a little bit off and make a stand basically. So just come out to the garden. They don't need to be exact or anything like that guys. I make them roughly in the same place, but it's really not that important. So let's just mark these up. And I'm just going to chop them off there. That'd be fine for me guys, no big deal. Obviously I'm always doing DIY and that sort of thing, so I'm fortunate enough to have one of these sort of stands in the garden. So let's just open this up a little bit, push that in, get it to about there, tighten it up. It's not a great day out here guys, so I don't want to spend a lot of time doing this, and hence rather than a saw I've got this old bad boy, one of my parkside tools. This is going to do this in 2 seconds flat guys, so yeah, make it nice. Never do it hard when you can do it easy guys. So do that. That's one done. That's literally how quick it is guys, very easy. Take this off, put that aside, other one back in. It's all about the tools guys. It does help if you've got adequate tools, but obviously you can make your bracket with a normal saw or whatever you guys like. That's it, good enough for me guys. Might keep them, you never know if I need them or not. I never throw stuff, which is why I had this sitting in the shed. Alright guys, so the other thing you can see here, sorry I'm trying to hold the saw at the same time, is that there's actually a couple of holes in both of these, so it would make sense for me, hopefully you can see that, I'm not looking at it from hopefully I can put a little bit of wood in between them which will give it some rigidity, put it onto a base, and that's it. I'll have my stand for the wheel. So let's get that done. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've kind of got them fitted in all okay, but I want to make a bit of wood to support in between these two, and then I'll give it a base. So let's get on and get that done. Alright guys, so my initial thoughts are, I've obviously got those for the uprights, or your forks if you like. That's going to be a bit of support, and I will chop a brace to put it in there. But I also think it doesn't need to be that high. The higher it is, the more wobble I'm going to get off it. So I might trim these down to somewhat closer, and then put this lot together, cut this to size. I know I've worked it out, 137mm. So I'm going to get this cut, put all this lot together, and then that'll be my stand, guys. Alright guys, I just had a thought. I'm doing this for the average Joe, and I probably take some things for granted. So just let you know, I have got pretty good basic woodworking skills, metalworking skills. I kind of did a lot of that sort of thing at school, and over the years I've made my own projects and stuff like that. So I am quite a good handy man, which means I do have some tools that maybe not everyone will have. So I just thought I'd show you something. So I'm going to cut down these supports because they're too long, and I've put a line all the way around so I make sure I cut them in the same place. Now, if any of you aren't sure how to do that accurately, it'd be good if you had a set square. You can put it right up against the wood or whatever you're cutting, get a really lovely straight line on there, and then that will allow you to transfer it between the two pieces and allow you to cut them accurately. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've cut a little support that's going to go in here. It's not attached at the minute. So there was already a pre-existing drill hold in either side, so I'm actually going to use those holes, guys, but I'm going to be going into this wood. So I want to do a pilot hole, guys, in here. So I'm not measuring it all up, clamping it all up, making it sophisticated, making it absolutely proper. This is just a quick stand knocked together to hold the wheel. So I'm going to put this on there, drill a pilot hole from either side, guys, and then get this bit put in. Just make a little hole initially, go around to the other side and do exactly the same thing. So what I normally do is I put the drill through, go to about halfway on the block, bring the block back into the middle, just drill a little bit so I know where I'm going. There's a little hole there, and then I will change drill to a smaller drill bit, and then just give myself a pilot hole in there, guys. Now, yeah, I am doing this on the dining room table, and I would normally do it outside if I'm honest, guys, but it's pretty chilly outside today, and I know I can take this mat, sorry you can't see it, but I can take the mat I'm on outside and just dust it down. So just going to drill these pilot holes, guys. Quick and easy. And then we'll get this bit of wood in place. Also, the other thing, guys, is make sure you use screws that are long enough that are going to go through the side parts and then weld into this. So now we're just going to attach this, guys. Put that through, get it into that hole, hold it roughly straight. Like I said, I'm not trying to be super accurate here, guys. This is something I am literally just knocking together. That's that one. I need another screw. Turn that around so you guys can see it. And then I'm just going to go into the other side, guys. Very simple. Nothing that anyone else couldn't do whatsoever. Marry up that hole and then just screw it in. Oh, I've got it slightly wonky on that, which will annoy me, so let me just straighten that. Do it a little bit in. as you can see, there you go guys, we've got a support. But now we want it to be able to be freestanding. So I'm just going to put this on here. So again, 2 little screw holes into the top, 2 little pilot holes, then we screw it through and the platform's done. Alright guys, I'm probably going to keep repeating myself, but I am going to do this kind of a step-by-step guide for anyone that doesn't normally do this sort of thing. So just to let you know, I've got a base plate which is going to support my wheel. I've found, using a ruler, 2.5 centimeters that way, 2.5 centimeters that way, roughly 11.5 centimeters that way. These are not measurements you need to know guys, but I'm just trying to show you that I've roughly put this central on this, and then I will take a pencil and just draw around all of that so that I know I need to produce 2 little holes in there that will go into this support from the top of this. Alright guys, so when you take that out, you'll then have some wood, and you know you want to put a couple little holes in, and this is all rough guys, so you don't need to be exact here. So I'm going to put a couple little holes in there, and then I can screw the uprights in. Alright guys, so I have just drilled some holes in the wood for the top. And I just wanted to show you that I've put the screws in, protruding ever so slightly, and there's a reason for that guys. It will help me locate it into the holes on this quite nicely. It'll allow me to line it up. I'm going to look from this angle guys because it will help me. So that feels like it's in the first. And that feels like that's in the second. So I'm happy with that. So now let's sing all of these home. Oh, wrong way. Do this one. I want just to go just under the wood. Now when I was doing it guys, this one didn't go all the way through, so once you've got those in, it's a perfect opportunity to give yourself another nice hole. Right, let's get a screw in there. There we go guys, bracket all done. Alright guys, so as you can see that is the mock bracket, if you like, all done. Let's show you how it will actually be. Okay guys, so as you can see it's probably taken me about 40 minutes guys, and that's obviously just to find some wood, come up with some ideas what to do, chop it to the right size and make a stand. But it now means I have a good stand. Oh, you can hear the motor going there. So I've got a good stand that's going to be okay. Now I don't expect this to be super stable or anything like that, but it's just so it can hold the wheel. I can play around with the wiring, make sure I've got it correct, make sure I've got it in the right direction, and that's it guys. That's the only purpose of this. So I think I'm going to draw a close to part 1 of the Build Your Own Power Barrow series. Thank you for watching guys. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me out immensely. If you've enjoyed part 1 of Build Your Own Power Barrow series, give it the thumbs up. And if you want to be notified of future posts, which I'm sure you do if you want to follow this one guys, hit that bell notification. So thank you for watching. Stay fishing, stay safe.